Hey everybody, it's the Aries 1999, continuing this series we're doing on the concept of faith and clerics in D&D. So, for today we're going to be counting down my top 10 favorite clerical domains. For some groundwork here, just wanted to say that I'm not really going to be considering any UA domains or homebrew, because otherwise there'd be way too many to choose from. So I'm just sort of making my selection from the official clerical domains. And with that in mind, we're starting off number 10 with the order domain. So this domain is all about just applying the natural concept of, well, order into a way that helps that cleric succeed. They can take command in battle to keep things running. This lets them share their turns with their allies, charm their enemies, or enchant them both. And they can also use this ability to control situations around them, or even just tear down their foes psychically. Okay, now number 9 is the death domain. This domain channels the power of destruction and decay. This widens their pool of available spells, and they can channel divinity as an attack. At level 6, they can overcome resistance to necrotic damage, and at level 8, they can channel necrotic energies into their weapons. And then 10 and 17 are all about being able to attack even more foes with their powers. Raw darkness. Number 8 is the Arcana domain. Okay, so you guys know how I love subclasses that add features from one class into another. And that's what we have here. It's basically, the inversion of the Theurgist from Wizard, which are basically, clerical wizards. So these are wizardly clerics. At level 1, they can channel divinity to repel otherworldly beings, like an extended version of the turn undead. And then as they level, they can end adverse spell effects on people when they heal them, make their cantrips stronger, and even learn some wizardly spells. Ooh. Number 7 is the grave domain. So these guys are basically like the Ghostbusters of the cleric world, and they see being undead as just an affront to nature. So they start off as being very good at saving people from dying, and they basically get a grave dar they can use to sense the undead. They can use their powers to weaken the undead, defend their allies against the undead, and can even power up their own cantrips and heal people with the energy of those they see die. Number 6, we have the Twilight domain. So Twilight clerics are all about seeing through the darkness of the world. This is encapsulated by them having superior dark vision that they can share with their allies. This vigilance can give themselves or their allies advantage on initiative rolls. They can even just channel their divinity to bolster the strength of nearby allies. And they can even fly around in the dark, which is pretty cool, and can deal psychic damage through their weapons and use shadows as a physical shield. Number 5. The war domain. Now, war and religion are two aspects of life fundamentally as we know it to be, whether it be faith allowing people to preserve through a fight, or people going to battle in the name of God. This is what these clerics are all about. Anger be now your song, immortal one. Achilles' anger, doomed and ruinous, that caused the Achaeans loss. Oh, bitter loss. What's that? I didn't speak yesterday. Can I at least finish the quote? What? No, there's no time for that? I should just get into the war cleric features? Okay then. So at level 1, they get a lesser version of extra attack. Level 2, they can channel divinity to attack even more often. Level 6, they can channel divinity to let their allies attack more often. At level 8, they get more powerful weapon attacks. And at level 17, they can resist both weapons. Number 4, knowledge. You know what's cool? Knowing things. You know what's godlike? Knowing everything. These clerics, they don't quite know everything, but they do know a lot. Their studies grant them extra language proficiencies, and they can even channel knowledge into themselves, including the thoughts of others. That's right, they can read minds. At level 8, they get the ability to boost their cantrips with their wisdom modifier, because they're just so good at knowing situations that they can just know how to make their spells more powerful. Then, by level 17, they're so good at tapping into the knowledge of the world that it even lets them look back in time. So yeah, there's just no outthinking these guys. They just know things about you, or they can find it out. Level 3, is the Forge Cleric. Yeah, we're doing a leveling system now. Yeah, I changed my quantities in the middle of the video. What you gonna do about it? What's that? I should just get on to talking about why the Forge Cleric is amazing? Well, if you insist. The power of creation just burns within these clerics. Like the great Hephaestus or Anatar, they can use their abilities to make things. They can bless items to aid them in battle, or build new items after a rest. And the flame burns deep within their souls to keep them safe as they fight, and to turn it against their enemies. And then at level 17, they can walk through fire unafraid, knowing that they will be able to hold up against the blows of their enemies. Number 2, the Tempest. Oh wonder, how many goodly creatures are there here? How beauteous mankind is. Oh brave new world that has such people in it. Not that Tempest, but that's just a cool quote. How'd you like the ability to command weather? Well, there you go. That's what these guys do. Right off the bat, they can smite their foes with mighty bolts of lightning, then can channel divinity to maximize their lightning and thunder damage. Levels 6 and 10 are all about repelling their foes and divinely striking with a clap of thunder. Let your plans be dark and impenetrable as night, and when you move, fall like a thunderbolt. That's right, Sun Tzu Pikachu edition. Lastly, they are able to start to just fly around at level 17. Yeah, they can just control storms and fly. Tempest Clerics. Seriously, give one of these a try. They're actually a pretty cool domain. But not as cool as number 1. Say it with me, the Life Cleric. I'm sure you all knew that this would be on the list. It's just, the fundamental cleric class. Maybe cliche to call it my favorite, but I really do like it. Starting off, their healing spells are more potent, and they can channel holiness through them to heal those nearby. As they grow, they become able to heal themselves when they heal others, and burn their enemies with their radiance. Okay, so side note, but from a physics perspective, light and radiation are mostly interchangeable terms. You could, if you wanted to, build a cleric that uses her control of radiation to force cells to change in ways that benefit her. So this would be, healing her allies and then breaking down the cells of enemies. Anyway, where were we? Oh yeah, Life Clerics. So at 17, they become so good at healing that whenever they need to roll to heal, they can just do the full amount. So with Cure Wounds, no D8s, just full 8 plus their modifiers. Well, anyway, there you go. Those are my picks for the top 10 best cleric domains. Wish I could have had more time to go into more detail of these, but hey, maybe I could do full videos for each of them if you guys want to see that. Tell me what you think down in the comments, what your favorite domains are, or if you have any ideas for specialized builds using any one of these. I think that, doing specialized builds is always a lot of fun, so we could do that as well. If you want to check out another top 10 list of mine, I've got one for my favorite first level spells. If you want to see a Life Cleric in action, well, you should check out the Super Carlin Brothers themed D&D game that I run and publish on my second channel. Link for that below. Tomorrow I'll be back up talking about the concept of divine favors and meeting gods in game. Until then, have a great day, and God bless.